The future of dating is content. Okay, that is the key. That is the future of dating. I've said this before and I'll say it again. The act of meeting and then ultimately dating high quality women, the sourcing aspect of dating, has moved from a in-person activity, bars, nightclubs, classmates in university, to an online activity, right? Instagram, dating apps, etc. And those who adapt are gonna win, and those who refuse to evolve are gonna go extinct like the dinosaurs. So later on in this video, I'm gonna illustrate this point about content being like the king and the future of dating by revealing two pieces of content that I created that changed my dating life forever. In fact, one of these videos that I created, it went viral organically, and if I should so choose to then increase its reach, the reach of the video, by boosting it on Instagram ads, basically paying money, going into my pocket, giving money to Instagram ads and say, hey, boost this to 21 to 24-year-old women in my area, which is now Sao Paulo, Brazil, where I'm currently living, I can get profile interaction for about half a cent. Profile interaction counts as like a girl visiting my profile, liking the video, commenting it, following it, and in some way interacting with the content that I posted. And then when I reach out to these girls, since they've already interacted with my content and presumably they've enjoyed it, they've related to it, they've laughed at it, etc., they are hyper responsive because I'm not just some random dude, in their DMs, right? I'm somebody that they feel like they have at least a little bit of a connection to. Again, somebody made them laugh, somebody whose content they had admired, etc. So I'll show that video in a second, but first a little bit of a preamble. So there is a gold rush taking place right now, and anybody who's smart enough to listen to me can have a rock star dating life if you just pay attention and actually take action on this stuff, right? So what I'm basically the guy that was screaming from the rooftops in 2012, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. And then nobody listened to me. And then, I ended up having the last laugh, right? So this is it. I'm telling you, invest in content, learn this stuff, learn the strategies, okay? It is so easy to beat your competition. Imagine if you were the only guy that discovered going to the gym and good fashion, and nobody else worked out, everybody else was skinny, fat, out of shape, and dressed like shit, and you were the only guy, or one of like 1% or 2% of the male population that actually went to the gym and actually dressed well. Okay, so this is like a hack. Nobody's doing this. It takes a little bit of effort. It takes getting out of your comfort zone, and you just got to you got to learn something. You got to try something new, right? So, I'm speaking to, honestly, even to my viewers who are a cut above. I know I'm only speaking to 5% or less who are going to take action on this, but point is, you guys ever notice that influencers, right? Streamers or any type of influencer, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are completely skinny, clowns, nerds, weird. They do crazy stunts for attention on social media. They're very, very cringe, yet they get with beautiful women. Anybody famous actually gets with a lot of women. And I'm not saying that, you have to get famous, through your content. That's not what I'm saying at all, but we can implement a similar strategy without actually becoming famous. So part of it is the fame, the clout, girls love famous people. That's an indicator of status. But a big part of it as well is that they're simply boosting out their personality to so many women. They're putting their thoughts, their sense of humor, their ideas, their unique brand of charisma, if you want to call it that, out to so many women. So are you aware that a certain percentage of women, even hot women, beautiful women, they actually prefer and like kind of nerdy guys? Now, obviously this isn't the majority, and I'm not telling you have to go out and be a nerd, but my point is, look at this as simply like a numbers game, right? As a nerd, even if only 1 out of 50 girls finds your meek, shy, kind of, your nerdy personality to be sexy, you'll still beat out the alpha muscular dude if you can give yourself 1,000 times more reach than that guy, right? So here's what I mean by this. Okay, so let's say your typical alpha, charismatic, buff, Chad, whatever you want to call it, your typical, the guy, right? He's in a typical week, I don't know, he's going out to his bar, maybe the club, doing some approaches there, maybe talk to some girls at the gym, and he's playing around on a dating app, doing a little bit of swiping here and there. And between the matches he get on the dating app and the women he meets and talks to in person, he's exposing his personality to roughly 30 women in a week. And because he's alpha jacked and charismatic, let's say about half of the women, 50% attraction rate. So out of the 30 girls, he has 15 girls he can now choose from, okay? Half of 30 is 15. Now let's take the nerdy guy by contrast. So it's not a 50% attraction rate. Let's say that only 1 out of 50 women find his very, meek and nerdy and timid and shy personality to be attractive. So yeah, like 2% compared to 50%, right? But through his Instagram content, he can expose himself to 10,000 women in a week. So even if only 2% find him attractive, that's 200. 2% of 10,000 would be 200 women who like him, find him attractive. So now the alpha guy has 15 women he can choose from, 50% of 30, and the nerdy guy has 200 women he can choose from, 2% of 10,000. And like I said, the goal isn't to be nerdy, but obviously I'm making an extreme example just to make my point. So if you're implementing the stuff I'm talking about, you're making really funny, charismatic, engaging content, which we'll talk about more, and I'll actually show the video that I promised you at the beginning, the video that I made in a second. But if you're tall, good looking, naturally charismatic, etc., this is gonna be completely unfair, and you shouldn't do this strategy, because if you are that guy and you implement this strategy, you are going to impregnate every woman on the planet and you will leave no women left over for the rest of us. So please don't do it if you're that guy, okay? But even if you're not that guy, you can still crush it, and here's why. Have you guys ever studied the old school pickup artists like Neil Strauss, Mystery, R.S.D. Tyler, good friend of mine? You've noticed that these guys are not in any way, shape, or form super good looking guys. They're not jacked. Most of them are short, except Mystery. Mystery was tall, but most of them are short. However, they're getting a shitload of girls based on their game, right? Their ability to use charisma and humor and seduction techniques, big personality, people skills, be the most funny, charismatic guy in the room, etc. And that's how they got women, despite lacking the physical attributes that are typically needed to succeed in this game, right? So what we can do is exactly what they would do in person and use their personality to pick up women. We can do the same thing online. So maybe you make funny, humorous content, which I'll show in the, that's probably like the best way to start. I'll show my video in a second. But maybe instead you can go on a funny, or not even a funny, you can go on a rant about how messed up dating culture is, or how messed up social media is, or the dangers of brainwashing of the mainstream media, or how all pop music is terrible, or how bad cell phone addiction is, or how fake the people in Miami are, or something. You can put an opinion out into the ether, make it engaging, make it interesting, make it polarizing, right? If you're doing a piece of content that's offensive to 90% of people, or off-putting to 90% of women, maybe you're poking fun at woke culture or something like that, and it's off-putting to like 90% of the women in Los Angeles, but that 10% that's on the same page as you is going to be hyper attractive, and those are girls you want to date anyway, right? The people that are aligned with your values. So like I said, humor is probably the best place to start. It's probably going to be more universally attractive, universally sexy, whatever, than, just trying to rant about. That's probably more advanced, as giving like an interesting rant about some opinion, although you could certainly try putting out content like that. But like I said, humor is the best place to start. And speaking of humor, I'm now going to post the video that I promised from the beginning. So here it is.
Americano pela primeira vez na academia no Brasil.
Wait,
All right, so as you guys saw, was that anything revolutionary? Absolutely not. So literally all I did was I was browsing TikTok one day. That video, like already cut up, chopped up with the music and everything, was already just available there on TikTok for me. And I just inserted like my reactions, like, oh shit, oh wow. Like I just inserted my reactions. I literally went to the gym one day. I said to some guy, I said, hey man, hate to bother you. Would you mind taking 10 seconds? It's for a funny YouTube or TikTok skit. Can you just film me walking into the gym? He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. He films me. I walk into the gym, give that kind of reaction, done. Thanks, bro. Boom. 15 seconds of his time, right? Then for like the reaction part, it was just a selfie. Like, oh shit. Oh damn. It was just like selfie, right? And like I said, that video ended up getting about 10,000 organic views just off top. Like fitness influencers in Brazil were like tagging me in it. And, just like, I don't know, a lot of comments and stuff like that came in organically. And then later when I boosted it, like I said earlier, for 1/2 of 1 penny, I can get a 21 to 24-year-old female in Sao Paulo, Brazil to interact with it. Doesn't mean they all follow me. Doesn't mean they all are in love with me, but it takes it like, I don't know, say my response rate on like, I don't know, cold contacting a girl on Instagram in some way is, I don't know, 15% response rate, maybe. Let's just say that what it is, right? Now it's maybe 30%, right? Or something like that. And not only that, I have the advantage of not having to go look for them, but I can just like, the ads can just boom, boom, just like the algorithm can just like, boom, show it, right? And I like, it's kind of like, if you guys study marketing, it's now inbound marketing instead of outbound. Like they're kind of coming to me first in a way, right? So what's the action plan here for the 1% of you guys who's actually going to do something about it, right? I wish it was higher, prove me wrong, right? Come back and comment on this video and, 2 months later and say, hey, Casey, I got this content. I'll tell you what, for anybody who does take action, make a funny skit, I'll give you like a free hour of coaching. There you go. So for you guys who actually can message me on Instagram, say, hey, I watched this video of yours. I went out, I researched some content, I made my own content, and here it is. I'll give you an hour of free coaching, right? So just message me on Instagram if you actually do that. So here's the action plan. Go to TikTok, right? And search something like couples humor, funny pranks, funny skits. I recommend couples humor. There's a lot of stuff that you can you ever see the TikTok videos where it's like, maybe it'll be like, it's the same person, but he's like doing a skit of like the guy and the girl. So the guy is like the male actor. So it's like, first it's like the guy talking, then like in the next scene, maybe he put on a wig or he uses like a filter or something to make him appear a little bit more like a girl. And he's like, hey babe, like, could I have some of your food? Oh babe, why do you always steal my food? Well, before I wasn't hungry. Well, now I'm hungry. Like, I don't know, these like stupid skits or whatever. Couples humor, like about the girl being crazy, about the girl being jealous. You don't have to invent your own. Just go to TikTok, search like couples humor, start liking a bunch of videos, start giving a lot of watch time, like watch the videos all the way to the end, start following a lot of these type of creators that do this content, and then your feed will get flooded with this type of content. The algorithm goes, oh, he likes, stupid, couples humor skits, right? And then you'll see a lot of this content and you can find something just like that gym video that's really, really easy for you to emulate. You can buy a tripod for $20 on Amazon, like a little mobile tripod. If you have a, Samsung Galaxy S23 and above, or an iPhone 14, good lighting in front of a window, you're golden, right? And, you probably need some good photos to support the profile as well. I have a whole bunch of that. Guys, go to redbeardrans.net. You can find out all the ways that I help and coach guys on this. And I just want to leave you with the fact that, yeah, like there's a gold rush taking place. Content is the future. I'm not necessarily, I don't know, for better or worse, right? Dating is now, dating is in person, but the act of meeting people to then date. If you guys have any high value, like influencer friends, rich guys, athletes, celebrities, anything like that, like my friends Fresh and Fit, they meet like 90% of the girls online through some online platform. A lot of it's Instagram, sometimes it's other sources as well, but through one way or another. And again, like I said, if where do you think Dan Bilzerian's meeting his girls from? Where do you think Drake is meeting his girls from? It's either, introductions, through friends and stuff at events, in-person events, or the majority is through Instagram, right? Dan B, it's been known for a while. He has a full-time girl guy that just basically sources him, girls on Instagram. And listen, just let this go in one year, out the other. Don't focus on content. Don't focus on photos. Don't adapt to the new times. Stay a caveman. Stay in the old ways and stay lonely. Stay not dating high quality women. Stay, doing this instead of being with a girl face to face and, just smelling her and experiencing her and having connection with her and other fun stuff. Group cardio sessions with her. The choice is yours, guys. That's all I got for today. Go to redbeardrans.net if you want some help. Peace. Hey guys, quick thing. I made an oopsies. I just realized in the editing of this video that I only posted one of the videos that I promised I would post. So the second video is going to be on my Instagram, redbeardrans1. I'll put it as a story highlight. I'll call it my funny content for dating or something like that. You'll see. It'll be one of the first story highlights. And I'll repost the gym video, the funny one there, as well as the second video that I promised that I forgot to put in this original video. My bad.